we try to manage the group as well as possible. Try to build a lot of depth, even though we have a number of injuries at the moment. It's something we're very conscious of, is trying to build some depth amongst the group. So, as you will have seen, a lot of young guys have played over the last couple of seasons. Some of those young guys have now stepped forward into the international arena now as well, and they've picked up some very important experience there as well. So, we're excited by the challenge. It's pretty daunting challenge, but guys have come back in pretty well and trained well this week, given obviously some of the constraints that we've had. It is a challenge for sure, yeah. Like the rules obviously were, the way the season was structured was slightly different earlier on in the tournament, if you think back 7, 8, 9 years ago, where there was that extra week. But we got a number of guys back last week for the defeat over in Ospreys. I think definitely it was a bit of a shock to the system for some of those guys getting back to that level, come against a team like Ospreys who are very, very desperate to win, to push on in Europe. And that's the thing about this time of year, there's lots at stake in a lot of the games. So it was definitely a bit of a grounding for a lot of guys, I think, coming back in for their first game in quite a while with Leinster. So for the guys coming back in this week, they've had a little bit longer in terms of their preparation with the group. So hopefully that is important for us. Saracens have had a similar challenge trying to reintegrate a number of English players and even one Welshman and a Scot as well. So amongst our groups, so that's the challenge. It's a unique in terms of this tournament. You play your 6 pool games, then there's a 3-month break, and then you get ready for your next game in the quarterfinals. So it is a challenge, but. That's what makes this tournament very, very special as well. Yeah, it's huge. You think Saracens' quality that they have, their record in Europe the last couple of seasons. They're the team that we've all been trying to chase. We're aspiring to get to that level. There's a huge amount of work has gone in here in the last couple of seasons to try and get us to a situation where we're, in a game against Saracens, because they're the team that we've all been trying to chase. So. Yeah, and it's a fantastic challenge, in the Aviva as well. I believe tickets are going very, very well, and a crowd of 50,000 people, and all that little things matter for us. So support for us has been a real point of difference, I think, over the last couple of seasons in trying to get us back to this point. And hopefully we'll have a great atmosphere in the Aviva on Sunday. The challenge is, you come off, the group stages where there's a lot of continuity with the team, and they're used to being together for a number of weeks. If you think. They had come off the November series, which is a shorter window than the Six Nations, and then we come back in, and there's a 7-game block where you play 4 European games and the 3 in the provincial games. So there's a lot of cohesion and understanding amongst the group, and then the group moves away again. So the challenge for us is just to try and get that sort of cohesion of the group together again in a much shorter window. So the group is still very, very ambitious. Players have worked hard this week, and it's still a little bit unknown. But we've tried to do everything we possibly can. Very, very close call, for Sean. He's worked so hard to get back. Worked hard to get back from his hip originally. Took that shoulder knock in the Scarlets away game. And it's just been a frustrating window for him. But he's very, very close this week. He was training out there today, but we just felt he probably hadn't just done enough at this stage. So he's not a million miles away. He's such a key figure for Saracens, but they've got a very able deputy in Alex Lazowski if he plays as well. So we've prepped for both scenarios. So. We're expecting to see Owen Farrell on Sunday. If he's not there, they've got a very, as I said, able deputy to step in his shoes. He's played there for us this year as well earlier on, and the agreement we had when we signed Scott was that he'd be a second row, and just with the injuries that we've had, obviously Jack Conan got injured at the weekend against Ospreys as well. He would have likely have featured this week. And some of the other back row injuries that we have, obviously with Jamie, Josh van der Flyer, Reese is just coming back now as well. So, he only dropped back into training this week, so he's done incredibly well to get back. And the medics and the rehab team that has been working with him, huge amount of credit get to them for getting him back as timely as they did. So, it's Scott's he's played majority of his tests, I think all of his tests at 6. So, he's probably more experienced at 6 than he has at lock. So just obviously the role he's been carrying out for us has been at lock primarily. So we'll see how that goes, but he's played plenty there at least. In many ways, yeah, they're similar partnership. Obviously, Dev and George Cruz being the line-out callers and the line-out leaders, who play a big role in terms of the running of the forward pack, and ultimately what launches a lot of the attacks as well. And James Ryan and Maro Toje do, I think, very impressive athletes. Very good work rates. And yeah, good. In terms of being physical specimens, they're very, very strong. So, I think it's a good battle. Like there is across the board. There's some great battles, but that's what you expect, I think, in the quarter-final stage. International rugby is different to the provincial game, the interprovincial and club game. So yeah, it's important that we understand the challenge is slightly different. You go up against a team that's been through a lot together. They're used to sharing a lot of experiences together over the last couple of seasons. And yeah, it doesn't get any greater challenge for us. So it's as I said, we've all worked incredibly hard. Everyone in the club has worked incredibly hard to get back to these days now. It's just about making sure that we've prepared as well as we possibly can, so we can perform as well as we possibly can in the game. So it's going to be a great challenge. But that's why we all turn up for work every day.